So anyway, it probably would have won the award except for that. They couldn't quite excuse a little bit of dirt maybe, but that one not. So anyway, now the one thing you want to make sure is that you have 6 petals. You don't want 5 or 7. And you will get 7. I remember one class tag-born from Columbus. She entered this one flower, and I said, Tag, we can't give you the award. And she said, why not? And I said, too many petals on this one. And she went, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Anyway, there were 7. She says, well, no wonder it looks so full and nice. It was one of those ones that has the real skimpy petals and real narrow petals, and it looked really, really full. Sure, had an extra petal. And she was mad at herself too. But that's one thing you have to do is look at these things before you pick them. And see, now you don't want too many obvious things. Some of these things you can fix, some you can't. I told Melissa to send me some that needed fixed, and she did. And so one thing you want to make sure, if you have red cups, orange cups, you want to look at them real carefully to make sure that this is not burned on the edge. Burning is drying out. And also, this one even has it. The sun came down and hit it and bleached out the outside of that. And that's a flaw that you're not going to be able to fix. So don't pick it up. Yeah.
Donna, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
You can interrupt.
Only because in front of you in the very first row is a cultivar called Frosted Pink, right there, whose corona is intentionally white.
Oh, that's the way it's supposed to be.
So is that something even with red cups that might have like yellow edges?
No, you kind of, what you have to do is you have to know your flowers a little bit. So you have to know that, and besides, if this is actually a red cup that's burned on the edge, you can do this and you can feel it. You hear it. It's like papery, and you will hear your fingertip scratch it. That's when it's burned. This is not faded out. This is Frosted Pink. I just got this last year. I'm looking forward to seeing that open. Now that I see it, I'm really glad I bought it. And so that's I know that this is supposed to be that color. Now I can tell you the color code of at least 2/3 of the 400 and some daffodils that I own. I could tell you the color code on almost all of them, and maybe even more than that. I'm not sure. But that's because for some reason there's something weird that goes on in my mind, and I have to learn this. I have to know this. I have to be able to say, oh yeah, cinnamon ring, 3 white, green, white, orange, and I have to be able to know that. And and I don't have any idea why I need to know that, but I do. But anyway, you will find that you will know that this is burned. It will actually, the substance of the edge of the cup will be greatly reduced. You will see a crimping of it right where it's burned. You can feel it with your fingertip. Of course, you don't want to do too much of that or you're going to end up messing it up. But if you suspect it and you just brush your fingertip across it, you'll know a rim from a burned cup, burned edge. You will know it. Try that the next time and see one that is, and you'll see what I'm talking about, because you will know. They don't fade out to white. It doesn't fade out to white. It fades out to dry, brownish, papery. That's what it fades out to. Okay, now you want sturdy stems. This is not a real sturdy stem. I think this is trigonometry. No, I think this is trigonometry. This is not. This is another one of Elise Haven's pink-edged 11s. But you're going to want as sturdy a stem as you can get. The ones that when you hold it up, they go, that's not really the best one, because if the judges are really doing their job, they will look for how sturdy your stem is. Does it hold your flower upright? Because if a stem that doesn't hold your flower upright is not a good stem. Stems are 5 points. So they may take a couple off because you have a stem that's wobbly. I'll show you a little trick to make it look better. Now, there's a thing about virus in daffodils. A lot of daffodils have virus. So when you're out there picking your daffodils, if you have a knife or a pair of scissors, and you're going to cut the stem, and there's going to be plant juice on your scissors. You're going to go to the next variety. If this first one had virus, you're going to do that, and you spread the virus to the next one. They almost killed all the Tazetas in Scilly, the island in England at one time because of the virus. And they went down with a knife down the road, passing the virus through the whole planting. And they almost lost the whole daffodil planting out there because of it. So what I do, I have 10 fingers. I got a fingernail on each one of them. So I get down there and I do this. This is my first one. I'm going to reach down there, take my thumb and make a little slit and break it off. Go to the next one. I'm going to use that finger. Then I'm going to use this one and that one and that one. I can do 10 flowers before I transfer any plant sap to another plant. So then I wash my hands and start in again. But I'm going to be picking for several days before the show. I'm not going to go out there the day of the show. I mean, because I'm going to have a rimmed flower that's already burned because it bloomed 2 or 3 days before. So I'm going to pick every day for several days before the show, stick them in my refrigerator. You're really lucky if you have a refrigeration system that does not self-defrost. Self-defrosting goes hot, cold, hot, cold. That's not good for them. But an old-fashioned refrigerator, and my house happened to come with one, which was wonderful. It's not anything you'd want to show people, but it works. And it stays at 38 degrees, which is what the florists keep their flowers in the flower shop at. So I can keep it at that temperature, so I picked for several days. One time I picked a cyclaminius, left it in the refrigerator for 2 weeks, took it to the show and won blue ribbon. So they don't mind being cool, but they can be too cold. But you don't take your spritzer and spray the flowers. Spray the walls of the refrigerator, because you can get water spots, which sometimes are hard to get out. And so it's easier not to get the water spots at all than have to sit there and try to get them off. And so I spray that. I put a wet towel in the bottom of the refrigerator, which gives plenty of humidity for the flowers. And they will survive and look really good.